I'm Simon King, and this is What's Wrong. By this point, if you've watched enough of the episodes of the podcast or listened to enough of the episodes of the podcast, you know what's about to happen. Talking. Do you like talking? Are you a big fan of it? Or are you into mime? Because if you're into mime, check out Mimecast. It's great. It's very relaxing. It's ASMR of a guy falling over about 35 minutes in. But this is the, if you're listening to this, you could be watching this on youtube.com/TheCitizenStrange. I called it The Citizen Strange because when I was like 27, I thought that was really fucking cool, and I was wrong. But now it's there, and nothing I can do because they monetized it, so I'm stuck. Anyway, I'm very excited to have my guest today. One of my favorite comics to watch. Very funny, very talented. You're going to love her, ladies and gentlemen, K.C Novak.
Hey!
K.C Novak.
That's me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. And in the background is my... hold on, we're trying new adjectives every day. Every episode we try new adjectives. Last time we had fastidious. What should we do this? Lugubrious. Lugubrious.
Is that a real word?
Yeah, look it up. Lugubrious Mike
Full
Greenwood. I like the idea that he doesn't know what I've called him until later on. And he's going to look it up and he's going to get mad and throw a drink at me.
I'm mad that I don't remember.
Lugubrious?
Someone who's verbose?
Verbose is verbose. Yeah, lugubrious. Yeah, similar. It's interchangeable.
Super wet.
Lugubrious. Okay.
Lugubrious.
Looking or sounding sad and dismal.
Oh, no. Not what I thought.
That's
But
me.
no, it works with verbose though because he
That's
talks.
my word.
He sadly talks. Like he talks sadly about how sad he is. He goes, oh, yes, guys, it's fucking rough. I don't know. I'm doing a Maria Bamford character, but anyway.
That's the opposite of Mike. Mike is sunshine.
Oh, thank
He
you,
really
guys.
is. He's
Sunshine.
perennially happy to the point where I think something's. I think later, if I was
Well,
a
I don't-
dopamine vampire,
I just go home and
he'd
cry.
be the guy.
I don't think he knows about reality. And
Oh no,
that's-
no, he doesn't.
That's why he's
He
so
thinks
happy.
this is a job. He thinks he's at work right now. Like I told him, I said, "Oh yeah, you've got a job," and it's just to keep him off the street. I'm worried about him. You know, he's doing fine. Look at him giggling in the background. He really
Twerking
doesn't
him
know.
off the streets. I'm off the streets.
Mike's the kind of guy that could get the worst news. He'd be like, "You have terminal cancer," and then you're just like, "And also a balloon puppy,"
Yeah.
and you're like, "Yeah!" Like you just would flip him around real quick.
Or if I found I got cancer, I'd be like, all right, better weed.
Puppy, and you're like, "Ah, that's pretty good." I mean, I got cancer, but I got the puppy. You know, no one's ever said that before. I don't think, have they?
No,
I
don't
got
think
cancer,
so.
but I got the puppy. What's your favorite word, verbose?
No.
Oh,
No,
what is
I was
it?
guessing that was the
Oh,
definition
okay,
of that
okay.
word, and I was really off the mark. I don't know what my favorite word is.
Do you sometimes do you find that you sometimes use like 10-cent words when you can use a 5-cent word?
I've been trying to more because I've been listening to podcasts with people who do that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's a game I want to play.
Yeah.
Though just the other night at a show, I said after someone, it's the hot sauce show that Sean does. People,
Yeah.
comics go on stage and they eat. It's like hot ones.
Yeah.
But the white Irish guy who got up, he started like crying after the spicy dose that he took, and he came off the stage and he just looked. I said, "You look bereft," and then the
Oh,
woman
that's
next to
nice.
me went, "Nice word."
Nice word. And to be fair, an Irish
how-
person eating spicy food, that's just breathing air that has anything in it other than oxygen.
I don't think I've seen an Irish man cry.
fucking Christ, that's spicy. What is that?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
That's
for him.
tap water. Feck me. Jesus Christ, I'll never have that again. I'll tell you that much. Comes out of my arse like it turns into a ring. I'm never fucking touching it. And if you're Irish listening to this, fucking, eat hot sauce. Maybe, get some color in your cheeks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just trying
what
to.
you
There's
got.
nobody Irish.
No.
Actually, we do have a weird user base in Ireland of the podcast.
Really?
Yeah, there's like 3 people in
Get an
Ireland.
abortion.
She just says that because she doesn't like Irish people and she wants less of them.
No, I just think it's great.
You can get an
Use
abortion
your right
now?
while you can.
Yeah, they can now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can do it
I
now.
remember that march.
Yeah.
I think.
You remember that march?
So many marches
There's
ago.
a lot of marches. It's a lot of
Yeah.
marches, The so well that's good. Bereft is a good word.
Yeah, it was accurate for what he looked like.
I think that's the thing. I think
My favorite word is an accurate word.
When I was growing up, my mother always used to teach me like Queen's English, like the proper words for things, and I would say them in school, and then I would get mocked mercilessly for using big words, because smarts is bad, be dumb, pull the trigger. Anyway, so I would use the big words, and then I would get bullied mercilessly.
For what?
And
Like
for
what?
just words that I was taught, and then I slowly.
spatula or like what?
Spatula was a
word,
big.
yeah.
I used the spatula a lot, and I would just,
The
this
proper
weird thing
words
is,
for things, I don't
I
know
would
what that
answer to
means.
that. So kids would be like spatula, and I'd be like, "Hey, what's up?" And they'd be like, "Look at that fucking kid," So
Like
that was a
gay.
problem.
Yeah.
Is that the gayest instrument? The
Kitchen
kitchen
utensil?
utensil?
No.
Spatula? No, melon ball.
Whisk? I don't know.
Whisk. Ooh. Because whisk sounds like a drag queen.
Well, you have to. You gotta get that wrist.
Yeah. See? That's why we brought her on. She knows about the gayest utensils. The whisk is a pretty gay utensil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to quit comedy, so this is a good way to
It's
go
good.
down.
This is a good way out. What's the straightest utensil? Meat hammer. Oh no, that's
rolling pin to hit your wife with.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, I thought they were supposed to hit you with a rolling pin.
I said your wife.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Who's on first? I'm a lesbian. Your wife? My wife.
Who's on first? Whisk. Third base. I don't think you could redo the Abbott and Costello with kitchen utensils, could you?
I can't do shit.
You're in the right place.
Yeah.
We are nothing if not. I'm trying to think of a big word now that I can't. Extemporaneous.
Oh my god, I gotta look that up. Too.
Extemporaneous.
I taught that skill.
Extemporaneousness?
At my teaching job, where I taught kids how to talk.
You taught kids how to talk?
I did.
You
Did you move your?
Did you do that?
This is spatula. This is a whisk.
This is just a bunch of kids walking around. Just blowing kids' minds. Are like, what'd you learn about today? We learned spatulas are gay. What the fuck's going on in that class?
I made them memorize lyrics to Journey songs.
Did you?
No, I didn't. Don't stop believing.
And you just bob your head back and forth. Did you taught?
Speech arts.
Okay. And did you teach like do you have like do teachers have like a persona they
Yeah,
become?
you have to shut down.
Yeah.
You can't be yourself.
Well, that's just life.
Yeah.
Right?
And also, I mean, it was good in a way because it was a practice where you're forced to be optimistic. You can't say what you actually feel to these children. Because then a lot of they're very smart and they come in, they're like in 7th grade and they come in, they're like climate change. And I'm like, I know, right?
I know, right? That does sound like the American official position on it, like the G7 official position. Climate change, and you're like, I know. Anyway, coal, and you're like, I know.
But you would have to trick yourself into believing there's and I would be like, and very smart people are on the job.
Just like churning out, yes, everything will be just pulling up the corners of your mouth. Oh, yes, we'll be fine.
And then the ocean's on fire. And I'm like, I have no.
Anyway, here's some pictures of me building a rocket to escape. Like, yeah, I that whole thing is like because the problem is kids are smarter than you think they are, and then so they deal with existential crisis earlier on than you think.
Because we did. If you remember when you were a kid, you were smart and you were having all these thoughts, and no one was.
I used to hit my head with bricks all the time, just because I wanted to get taken by child services because I heard they had better meals. But the point is,
Just hitting your head, saying big words.
I was one of those people where I was like, I didn't know. Like, I come from a family of people who are a lot smarter than me, so the whole time I was like one of those situations where I felt like I was deficient in many ways.
Well, did they tell you that? Because that's usually not a line. That's
no,
not
they
a
didn't tell me.
assessment.
They didn't tell me I was deficient. At no point did they say, "You're fucking dumb as shit." Anyway, move on. Your brother over there building a rocket or whatever the fuck is doing. No, but I did come from a place where I had that inferiority complex regarding my intelligence, and so I always felt like I was like kind of dim, and so I overachieved comedy wise, but I did not achieve school because I was bad at school, very bad at school.
But intelligence shouldn't be a race inside the family. That's what I mean. It shouldn't be a
Oh,
competition.
wow.
I don't think intelligence is a
like
race.
that.
I think that's a really weird thing to be racist about. Smart people are idiots. So that's not a race. You can't just be racist about smart people.
So I taught kids how to speak. I don't claim to know how to speak myself.
Those who can't. And
No, but I'm just saying this impression that you have in your family that you were the runt.
The runt.
Intellectually.
one of them dumb runts.
It just blows my mind that you were like a kid in the corner
Yes.
assessing that about your...
Yeah, well, I was what they describe as an old soul. And I was like a very old person. In a lot of, it's funny because like I've actually become in a lot of ways mentally younger now that I'm older because I
You're
just
describing all the deficiency I have. Like, oh, you were really alone.
Were you a worrier? Were you a worrier?
No, I just I shut down. I disassociated. I left my body all the time like a balloon. I was never there.
I just love the idea of you teaching kids that. Today's word is disassociate. Yeah. Speaking of which, check out my podcast.
They won't know you're nervous when you can't feel your body.
Hey, see, this is how comfortably numb. That it all makes sense now. It's all together.
Mm-hmm.
I was very nervous. I was very worried all the time. Had a huge anxiety. But back then, when I was growing up in the 1910s, 1915s, we didn't discuss this because baseball had just been invented and everyone was watching it. But we didn't. Nobody talked about the kids might have. It was just like, cheer up. Yeah, what are you doing? Get happy. And it was like, no, that's not the way it works. And because nobody, even now, people don't have a proper conversation about mental illness. But back then, it was just not even discussed.
Well, I got to go to a kid therapist once.
Did you?
My family had that foresight. And
you were 27. And
what's crazy, I don't remember the actual interaction, but I remember the protocol afterwards. I only saw this woman once, but afterwards I was given the instructions to eat
What?
to eat milk duds in class because my blood sugar would get low. But that was the result of that therapeutic session.
Here, have some milk duds.
She just, you know what? She's under the thumb of Big Milk Dud, right? That's what they fucking prescribed this to the kids. The fucking Big Milk Dud.
Sponsored
So
by
I remember
Nestle.
it being grade 5, and I felt so, fancy and like,
Yeah.
a chocolate
Here comes
princess.
K.C. with the fucking milk duds.
And like no one else had a snack privilege, but I was there. Just like thin scarecrow of a body because I'm like 6 feet tall and like 2 pounds, and then I just had these little yellow.
fucking milk
and I was
duds.
like, oh, it's my time. I got a carb load for my big fucking brain.
That's fucking amazing, though,
Yeah.
that you were just like the doctor, a medical professional, was like, you should probably have milk duds. And I love that it was milk duds.
Yes.
It wasn't anything else. It wasn't like, and you're like, Smarties? No, they're not effective. Okay, placebo and Smartie tested together, there's no fucking difference. All right, you need milk duds.
Was there a
What?
prescription with the milk duds?
Protein. I don't remember.
She's got a lot of money in milk duds.
I mean-
She's trying to move more milk.
If my parents see this, they're gonna have a whole different story. But like,
Yeah.
an effort was made, and the result was
Their story is,
Candy.
their story is, Casey really liked eating milk duds and wouldn't stop. And we took her to a doctor. And I don't know what they said in there, but then she got a note. I'm not sure what happened. Anyway, so.
How long did that privilege go for? Was it just a year, or did it
all
continue?
of 5th grade. Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, good to hear.
Yeah,
Fifth
good
grade.
year.
You had candy on you all the time in 5th grade.
That's what I'm saying.
How
I
did you
felt,
fucking run that place?
well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it was a boost.
That's the thing. It's like maybe that's what the teacher, maybe that's what the doctor was thinking. Is like she's maybe she feels bad because she's not as popular as she wants to be. We'll just give her candy, and then everyone will be
Why
like,
are you
super
assuming I wasn't
popular.
popular?
Well, because you have to go to a psychotherapist to get candy. So if you were
You don't know
popular,
what
they would have
school I
given you
went to.
candy. That's true.
I went to the Monona Ryder
He was
School for Special.
It was an all vegan
goth
school.
Children, yeah.
There's no milk products of any kind allowed in the school, and you're like, but I want chocolate, and they're like, I'm sorry, that's not the way it works. You're mentally ill if you want chocolate.
We all just wrapped ourselves.
Were you
in
very
Edgar Allan
popular?
Poe. No, fuck no.
I just assumed because you're a comedian, and I've
No,
never
yeah.
met a comedian who was popular in high
But
school.
I think there's a crop. I think there's a crop of kids now who are the popular ones.
That's why
They're
comedy's
all hot
dying.
now.
Yeah, comedy's dying. They are all hot now. How dare you be hot, young comics? That's not how you be funny.
Are they in this ring light?
I don't know. I just look at it sometimes. I try. You know what I try to do? I try to go to camera 1 because camera 2 we never use it. Camera 2
I never
is Mike.
plugged it in.
Camera 2 is Mikey.
That's what I thought.
I like to see the reflection of him in my me in his eyes.
Yeah.
That's what I see.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that's camera 1 and that's camera 2 and that's camera 5.
Camera
We try to
Mike.
make it sound like a bigger thing, but every time it's only camera 1 is the feed that works. I was not popular at all in school. I was not popular at all as a human in general, and I think that's the reason I have the sense of humor I have in the way I have. Defense mechanism: weaponize your humor, get to the joke faster than they can, right? Increase your speed.
I feel like boys have to deal with bullying in a way that, well, that's.
I don't know. I don't know. I've never been.
Blanket
I've never
statement.
been a young woman. But I assume that it's probably. I think the psychological bullying for women is probably.
I mean,
more brutal.
I did get terrorized by female friends. Let me retract my statement.
All of
there
a
was
sudden
no,
you're
like-
changing and you're like, actually,
Yeah, but you're saying like cutting through the joke was a defense.
well, getting to my what I realized early on, and I don't know at what point I realized this, that a joke told twice is not as funny. And so the idea was that if they're going to make fun of you for something, 8-mile yourself real fucking quick and get
Learn
in
how
on
to
it.
rap?
Yeah, learn how to rap. The white kid that rapped. This was pre-Vanilla Ice. I was very early on. I called myself Creamsicle, and which is why I got beat up. But the point is like I figured if you get to the joke before them, then it depowers what they're going to say. And also, if you're quicker and funnier, when people are laughing, they can't be mad at you. They just can't. They can't feel rage. They can feel other things. They could feel, embarrassment for you or whatever, but they can't actually be that angry at you that they would cause you harm when they're laughing in that way.
Sure. No, I agree with everything you're saying. I just haven't thought about it as like I feel
Oh,
like
I
I'm
dug
talking
into
to
it.
someone who's been playing Dungeons and Dragons real hard and real deep.
Anyway, I have a lot of swords.
Yeah.
And
I did have. That's we were
A
talking
lot
about
of
that.
strategy.
A lot of strategy.
Yeah, yeah.
I rolled a triple-sided die or whatever. Triple-sided die. It's just
20-sided.
a stick. That's not even a dice. I just bring a stick to the. Imagine being that guy. You go to Dungeons and Dragons and like you can't play. It's like, what's your character? My character's a pharmacist. You can't be a fucking pharmacist.
I would love that.
What would your D&D character be?
I don't know how it works.
I don't
Like,
know. Mikey, do you know?
I have no idea. I'm very curious about it, though.
That'd be
Shane
ghost.
Colin's not here. He seems like he'd know.
I mean, I'm not against it. It sounds great. Like to be.
It would be weird to be against it if you didn't know anything about it, though.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, you know,
But,
because
I
if
mean,
you were
that's
just like,
the-
I hate
but
Dungeons and
that-
Dragons, what do you know about it? Nothing.
That's the number one trend right now, to be against something you know fuck all about.
Oh yeah. Well, then I could be against a lot of shit because I know fuck all about most things. So it's like I find that my knowledge has become very focused on the things I need to achieve my task, which is yelling fruitlessly into the void about the end of society.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
the material. And because people who watch this might get the false impression that I'm funny. No. What you want to come out is you want to come out for the deep wall. You know how Phil Spector had the wall of sound? Mine is the wall of sad, and it just pushes the audience back. And then they climb on board because they're like, we have to laugh, right? Because otherwise he'll kill himself. And that's how comedy works, guys.
That's how it goes.
So if you're hot in a comic, fuck you. Anyway, just kidding.
Did Phil Spector do bad things?
Yes, he shot a lady.
That's right. I didn't know which bad. I was like,
Well,
was
he had
it
a
kid
bad-
bad, or
He
was
had
it?
a kid bad or shot
murder
a
bad.
lady bad.
Yeah.
He had a bad wig too for a while.
Okay.
So there's that too.
strikes.
I mean that really, yeah, exactly. You know,
Yeah.
like he was on the fence. You know, I think OJ got away with it because he was a hunk of a man. You know what I mean? Like they just looked at him and like, how can this man look at his skin? It's beautiful.
Got away with what?
Like,
Like all of a sudden. I thought that'd be really funny to on stage. I couldn't pull it off, but just to be like, everyone keeps talking about Hitler. Who's Hitler? Like, it's just,
oh, that would be the funniest thing. Just the oblivious comic. Like
Yeah.
your references.
not a denier, just like
I
ignorant.
don't know what you're talking about. And you just like, and you make references specifically to get the audience to heckle you with things that
Yeah.
you don't know anything about. It's
Yeah.
like, anyway, Cambodia was a great place in the early 80s. And they're like, what about Pol Pot? And you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. What's a Pol Pot?
I mean, that is believable that someone would
That you wouldn't
be
know Pol Pot?
absent of, yeah.
He's so just not rated in the top 10. You know what I mean? Like, Pol Pot really didn't get.
He's
you
China,
know,
right?
It's Cambodia. See?
Oh, okay. See, I don't
what I'm
know.
dealing
I don't
with?
know.
This was
I
a
don't-
listening
I don't know.
test.
That's-
See what we're dealing with the young people
There were
today?
context clues.
Sorry.
You guys are
Don't
both.
apologize. You're laughing, smiling, and saying you're sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I am a good teacher.
I'm sorry for my own ignorance. Yeah, I like Pol Pot.
What?
No, I don't know either.
You like
I
Pol
mean,
Pot?
I know he's a
And I
dictator.
cannot lie. Yeah, he was a despot. What's the difference between despot and dictator? I guess despot's when you
Your
do bad
style.
shit. Yeah.
That's a style of
You wear a
dictatorship.
mantle or not?
He's wearing despot this year. And you
Yeah.
just come out. You got like the. Because did you see Last King of Scotland? The
Yeah, I
EME?
did,
Oh,
in
so
theaters.
good, so
Yeah.
good, so good, so good.
That's when I back when I believed in the power of cinema.
film.
What changed that for you?
I don't know. The last couple of years, I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know.
Do you like superheroes and super? Because that's what's happening now.
Exactly.
That's what movies are now.
But I am excited, even though I haven't seen it yet, but to see Everything Everywhere at Once.
I hear it's good.
It
Oh,
is.
what's this? I haven't
Yeah.
heard it. I've heard it's a great name.
Transformative, like it's a multiverse story. I'm assuming it's about like how it's like it's a wonderful life for this era, where it's like you could be all these things, but you're you, and that's great.
I do like Casey's oblivious movie reviews. It's fucking great. I'm assuming it's about this. I don't know what it's about, but I think it would be like if I was to make a movie, it would be about this, and it would call
I
it
still
this.
need a podcast idea. Maybe it's that.
Okay.
It's like, I haven't seen this. but
We're
this
just
is-
you have guests on
Yeah.
that know about a movie that you've never seen,
Yeah.
and then you're,
And
and
then
you're like,
I
how
review
close
it.
am I?
Yeah.
Am I close? And
Yeah.
you're like, no, not at all. It's like Star Wars. Okay, so it's about monkeys, right? And you're like, no, it's not about monkeys at all. But
then
like,
I
Planet
twist
of the
it.
Star Wars? Yeah. It's
What
gonna
other
be-
movies haven't you seen? We can give you some more
All of
oblivious movie
them.
reviews. What do you think Spider-Man is about?
Which one?
Oh, fuck. I don't even know.
There's
Those
so
are-
many.
I
There's
know.
so fucking.
I'm
There's
a
too
comic
many.
book fan and I can't even keep
There's
up
too
with
many
them anymore.
spiders.
Yeah.
Spider-Man movies.
But also,
Yeah.
those are too easy because it's like, is there a bad guy?
I know. I couldn't think of an original movie title that wasn't superhero.
That's
Yeah.
the
There's
problem.
That fucking thing, and I'm
I
even
don't-
sick of it.
I don't like watching movies anymore. Like I mean, sometimes I'll watch
Yeah.
like movies. Sometimes on Netflix or something. If there's one or two that occasionally want to pop up that you're like it's pretty good because you don't recognize most of the people. And you know what I saw, which was really good. Mads Mikkelsen, I like very much. Mads
Never
Mikkelsen.
even heard of it.
Okay, he was the bad guy from the Casino Royale James Bond movie.
Sure.
The guy who cried blood.
I saw that on a plane. That was a mistake.
He was in a movie called From Hell. There you go. That's him.
There you go.
Or not From Hell.
a cheap CD.
Sorry, he was in a movie called Valhalla Rising. Sorry. Anyway, so
Okay, yeah,
he was in
yeah.
a movie
I'm going to
called...
put it closer to
A Bad
face
Guy.
next
Now,
time.
in the same year, he released two movies, one called Polar and one called Arctic. The Man from Polar is a not a good movie about a hitman who kills a lot of people and everything. It's like just a movie that's like your whatever. It's based on a comic, I think. Arctic, totally great movie. It's one of
Okay.
those movies where like he's Arctic researcher from Sweden, I believe, victim of a plane crash, and it's about him trying to get out.
A survival film.
It is, but it's one. It's like, did you see All Is Lost with Robert Redford?
No.
It's like it's a guy alone on a boat going around the world, and then shit
Yeah,
just goes south.
Guy
and-
alone
No
stories.
talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he dies, or not? Maybe, or doesn't he? Right? Nobody knows. At the end, it's actually pretty nebulous. There's another word. Look that up.
Nebulous.
Nebulous.
Is that a planet?
Don't look that up.
Nebulous is kind of vague.
There's a galactic term that is close.
Thank you.
A nebula.
Nebula, yeah.
You're so
Nebula
careful
and
making me
nebulous
not
are
feel
different
stupid.
things. If you said to me like, yeah, he almost dies or doesn't, it's like a nebula. Like, I don't know what the fuck, I don't know what it had to be like that.
Where are you from?
I don't know, it's really weird. I had a stroke, that's all it was.
Okay.
Head injury accent.
It's like
That's
Christopher
my
Walken.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very nebula.
That turned into Bernie Sanders, though. It's really weird. Bernie Sanders and Christopher Walken are essentially the same person, right?
A little bit.
Like, they're basically, like,
Bernie's more focused.
Bernie is more focused. Christopher Walken's more insane.
Yeah, as he should be.
He should be insane. Do you do any impressions?
No.
Oh, fuck.
I wish I
Like,
could.
what about a teacher or anyone you know?
No, I cried every time I had accents and dialects class in theater
really?
school.
You
Yeah.
didn't disassociate? You just cried?
I mean, after I would, yeah, because everyone was
Popping
like,
milk duds and weeping.
why? Because I actually, Alana Brittany, comic in town, she is also, she's a speech and language pathologist, and I described the symptoms I had as a kid. She's like, you probably had this thing, and she listed the symptoms, and I'm like, yeah, that's, I think, what I had. I didn't get to go see a therapist for that one, though. No milk dug therapy
You know what
for
the
that.
prescription for that would have been? Well, you can't talk right. Here's a Halls. Just suck a Halls. Like, what?
Just cram your mouth so you can't talk.
Bubble gum. Take a five Hubba Bubba. And just like doing accents.
Anyhow,
I didn't know
I have
that.
this disconnection between like the plan for my motor mouth
Yeah.
muscles and like what executes. So I
really?
struggle. Yeah, so I can't really pick up things audibly, and like impressions are just. But anyway, on a car ride back to the airport with my dad, I was practicing my Irish dialect, and we had been spending a month on it, so I was getting some progress. And I was working on it on my sheet, and I was singing out loud. And he was like, "Oh, that's great." You know, I was always so disappointed because I always wanted a daughter who could do accents. And you never could.
That's his thing. Yeah. That's his thing. I always wanted a daughter who could do accents.
I didn't know I had been disappointing him.
It's such a weird way.
20 years.
Weird thing to say. I always wanted a daughter who could do accents. Anyway, I guess you're cool. But
He's such a
whatever.
sweet man. He's a Barry.
But
He's a
that's
legend.
where he draws the
Can we
he's
hear
a
your
legend.
Irish accent?
Yeah, can we hear it?
Tell me something to say.
Northern or Irish?
My dad wished I could do it.
Oh, I can't. I'm going to be throwing a dart at a map.
Be like, okay, so be like, my dad was disappointed because I couldn't do accents.
No, I can't do it. My dad.
Da.
My dad.
Da.
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 My milk dad.
I hope everyone's listening to this.
I'm going to be blushing. And I hate how the other comics came in. This witness
We're like, all right,
my
Casey,
biggest
turn it.
insecurity.
You're to laugh. My dad fucking hates me because I can't do accents.
There was that. Okay, this
My
is
da.
okay. This line is coming back.
Me
I had
da.
to do was I can't do this.
You could do me da.
No, but I'll say the line from the scene I had to do,
Okay.
and it's this famous Irish scene where I had to crack an egg on my friend's head.
Yeah, that's that famous Irish scene, you know, from the Bible. The fuck is that? You know, the famous Irish movie. When everyone thinks
The
Ireland, they
Irish will
think four-leaf clover, drinking, smashing eggs on your friend's head. It's like, take that, you fecker! And then just...
Here's the goddamn line.
That's how Easter's celebrated in Ireland. You
yes,
just throw eggs at an old lady.
I mean, I don't think you're wrong, but it was you and your fucking triple frapples. That was it.
I liked it. You and your fucking
$80,000 worth it.
There you go. That
Yeah.
was not, well, you know what? I'm proud that you can do accents. I don't know if it pleases your dad, but I'm personally
Still
think it's
trying
awesome.
every Christmas. He just goes German, and I leave the house.
Happy Christmas, Father. He's like, get the fuck out of my house.
Was he specific about, like, did he want impressions of accents, or like, what did Jim Carrey mask impression do? Like,
I'm sorry. Everything
he threw celebrities
you
in.
said at me made me so stupid.
I was like, it hit with a water gun. Too many things.
No, he's a funny guy, and he thinks he does accents. So
He thinks he does?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he did an excellent Gonzo, but he could only do it like a few times. He's like, no, and then it was too hard for him.
He did an excellent
we do
Gonzo,
like
and then just-
Gonzo. And
He
it's
hit
like,
a wall.
He's like, no, I can't take him out.
I talked to Alana too, because I used to do this podcast where we do Arnold Schwarzenegger for a long time.
Yeah.
And I said to her, I was like, I'm worried that my voice, something's wrong with my voice. I can't do it for like 3 hours. And she goes, you're not fucking supposed to be able to do it for 3 hours. She goes, that's weird.
Yeah.
She's like, you should be this, like, it's a short period of time, because I guess when you do someone's voice.
Yeah, your muscles are working at a
I didn't
different...
realize that, because to me it's
restricted
just
way.
such a natural thing. But I don't obviously hold an accent for that long. I mean, this isn't my real voice. I've never used it, but I don't.
My real voice is like this. And I tell you, listen to the bad
That's also my fat
You're
John Wick
fat guy,
impression.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
my fat guy, Fat John Wick, which is how it started, Fat John Wick. But so, and then she's like, yeah, you're not supposed to be able to do that. And I was like, oh, okay, because I was feeling deficient. I was feeling less of a man because I couldn't do Arnold Schwarzenegger for 3 hours.
Because it's difficult to do because it's high. You're not here. And it's, you got to strangulate the voice because it's old now.
And that's the thing is, like, I guess when it's like a strangulation thing, but accents I can do forever because I guess they're just your voice with an accent on it, right?
Well, when you say it like that, I should be able to do it.
I like that you actually.
You know, comedy's just when you get up there and you're
It's just
funny.
funny, right? Look, I've never flown a plane before, but it looks pretty fucking easy.
Just you get up there, you fly.
What was your first stand-up comedy set?
Technically,
I mean, sure. I'm not fucking putting the parameters. It's up to you. You could lie to me right now and be like, well, I was on the Goodyear blimp, and there was an accident, and the stewardess, the flight attendant, was like, can you fucking make these people laugh while we try and pump this thing with a foot pump? And I wouldn't know.
I can't lie. So I was drunk in Columbus, Ohio, and I got up at like an open mic night, and then
Okay.
I was sitting down, and I had a little journal I didn't prepare at all, and then I read out whatever I wrote down.
Do you remember one of your jokes?
No, I don't.
You don't remember any jokes?
No.
You just kind of, it was a blur.
Yeah, and at the time I was in an improv troupe. Don't hate me. And then my
Is that the name of the improv troupe?
Hey, first of all, hold on a second. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny, Mikey.
that was you.
That was
Yeah.
me.
You
yes.
get it back.
Yay!
Hey, Mikey,
Nailed it.
give me one reason to cut that out. Anyways, give me a suggestion as to why I should cut it out. No, that's funny. Good for you.
Thanks,
Good for
I
you.
don't have to stop the podcast.
No, I
That's really
think.
funny.
Hey, hold on a second. Exemplary.
Thank you.
There you go. There, look that one up. You were in an improv troupe.
Yeah. And then the funniest member in that troupe was there witnessing it. And then we were at the bar later, and she's like, "You should do that." I was like, I don't know if that's your way of saying like I should stop doing improv.
Did you say? So she's like, "You should do that," and you're like, "Yes, and she's like, you should also keep doing
And
it."
here I am. Yeah.
And you just yes-ended your way into Vancouver.
Into Canada. Yeah.
So you did it. You did comedy for the first time. You have no recollection of it. Someone told
Yeah.
you you should do it again. You're prone to suggestion easily.
Yes.
You decide to show it up again.
If anyone will tell me I'm like good at something,
Throw a
I'm
couple
like,
of milk duds in your
"All right."
mouth. Get on stage. What? Do you remember the second show? Did you were sober for the second show, right?
No.
Okay, good.
No. It was at,
Have you ever done a show sober?
Yeah.
Okay, good, yeah.
After I went to Todd Barry, I went to his crowd work show, and it was like a couple weeks after I started stand up, and then he was like roasting everyone in the crowd, and then like some fucker in the front row, he was like, "What do you want to do?" And he's like, "I want to do what you're doing." He's like, "Have you ever done it before?" And he's like, "No." So Todd gave him the 1-2, and then
I'll give him the 1-2. Anyway. Hey man, you suck.
then he got to me, and because I was in the front row, and he's like, "What do you want to do?" I was like, "This, I'm sorry." And then he's like, "Well, do you do it drunk?" Because the guy said that he did it. And I was like, "Yeah, kind of." And he's like, "You shouldn't do it." And I was like, "Okay, then I'll stop." Even though it was like in jest, I was like, "Yeah."
But that's a good idea though, because the first time I ever did comedy, I threw down a couple of like kamikazes before I went on, just like vodka limes, and I threw them down, and I went on stage. I don't remember what happened.
Yeah.
And then I had them again the next time. I didn't get drunk, but I was just like, and then I realized like second time I did comedy, I was like, I don't think this should be a thing I do.
Yeah.
Like I think if I learn this now, this becomes habit and becomes a problem.
Yeah, I think
and
everyone goes through that. Yeah.
And I didn't drink on stage for the first probably 8 years of my career.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably just didn't have beer on stage. It's funny because to the point where once we were in a green room and I was with another comic, and there was a shot of a guy who looked a lot like me wearing the same sort of shirt I had at the time. And I go, I think that's me. And he goes, no, that guy's got a beer. And I'm like, yeah. So it was that point. And like now I'm a fucking Southpaw failure. But at the time, I was like clean living, you know? This was back when I had 6% body fat now, right? You can change the internet to make it look like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay, Mikey will
exactly,
fix that.
yeah,
He will scrub my history. So how long have you been doing comedy then?
6 years.
6 years. Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
6 years is a good time. That's nice to be young.
You seem very stoked about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I
You're-
started late, so there's that part
But there's
of
no
it.
such thing. That's the thing. That's a misnomer. It's like investing in Bitcoin. There's no such thing as being late.
Yes, there is.
Hold on. We're about Bitcoin now.
It's exactly like
that's-
Especially in Bitcoin.
No,
Yeah.
because the theory is that it'll always go up more, right? So the idea is that no matter when you get in, comedians particularly, you kind of want to have a little life under you to make yourself better, because otherwise you might get into it, not have the capability to deal with it, and then leave.
Yeah, that would have been me for sure.
Yeah.
So that's the only
you
saving
had some
grace.
strength.
Yeah.
Because I was 22
Well,
when I
I
started.
ran out of options.
Yeah,
That's
there you
why.
go. It's the same same thing.
Anytime anyone asks me,
Look,
because you know when like civilians are like, so why do you
Yeah.
do comedy?
Civilian.
Yeah, and then I'm like, it's been a war of attrition. Like it's just like everything else. Didn't. I went to acting school.
This is the siege of Leningrad. Like
I did
this
improv.
is-
Yeah, this is just like
I was the same way. I did as
wore
much as I
everything
could of many. Like I dropped out of school at 16, and I was a performer. I was a live theater actor and stuff, and then I did music. And then
I didn't know
eventually,
that.
Yeah, I just ended up. I
took
just
things
ended up
seriously
being-
once.
And I realized that stand-up comedy meant I didn't have to learn lines, and I didn't have to wait for other people's
Yeah.
cues, and I could just do whatever the fuck I want. And then I realized I started at the worst time. Though I started in 2000.
Why was
So-
that the worst time?
Well,
Because
because
of Bush.
totally the worst. It was actually Clinton when I started, technically, because I'm very old. I believe. No. Oh, 2000? Yeah. Wasn't it the election of 2000 that Bush
No,
got
yes.
in? Yes. So it was still Clinton.
Hanging
I'm a
Chads.
Clinton comic. Hanging Chads.
That was your stage name.
Hanging Chads. Yeah, it was my stage name. Well, I was a stripper at the time as well. The point is, anyway, so I started comedy because it was like one of those things where I didn't know where else to go. And then when I started comedy, it was like, the 80s boom had ended 10 years prior, and then the alternative boom had ended, and nobody was making money as a comic. This was pre-Dane Cook, or as I call PDC.
PDC, I was about to say, yeah.
The time before Cook. And so and the only people that were doing it, because at that time, people were selling tickets with like Chris Rock, George Carlin, Jerry Seinfeld, but there weren't really many. You couldn't make your own specials, you couldn't do your own shit. And so it was literally just a really bad time to
Netflix
start.
was by mail still.
Netflix was by mail still. Was it even then?
Was it even
Wasn't
then?
I don't think there was.
There was still Blockbuster.
There was still Blockbuster. Yeah. There was Blockbuster until like the late. Well, there's one Blockbuster left, I believe. You can rent it out on Airbnb.
In like Portland or something.
Yeah, you
because
can-
they don't let time
yeah,
happen
yeah.
to them.
You can't measure time in beads, man. Anyway, I don't know what the fuck that was. But yeah, so then I got into stand up, and I was just like, as soon as I did it, I was like, oh, this is what I do now. And then I did it for 6 months. And I started getting paid for it way too early, and it fucked my brain. And then I left for 2.5 years. And then so since I haven't had a real job since the middle of May 2002. And so August 8th, 2002, because I started February 8th, 2000, August 8th, 2002, I became a full-time comic, and that's it.
20 years.
I'm an old man. When I started comedy, it was all black and white. All analog.
But now you're a master. I don't know. They say like it takes 20 years to become a good actor, so you should be good by now.
You'd think, but if you watch my special, As Good As or Better Than, you'll see that it's, I think with stand-up comedy, the great thing about it is that it's never done.
No,
It's never
yeah,
finished.
no.
It's not like writing a book. It's not like painting a painting. There's no point, I think, with stand-up comedy, you'll get to the point where as long as you're still progressing, I don't think you'll ever overdo it.
Well, then I forget who said this in one of the million podcasts I listened to, but it's like, Patton Oswalt, where it's like
Never heard of him.
It's not like the stand-up is the thing between you and the audience. It doesn't exist until it's you're with them.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Teamwork.
So as long as that's there, I mean, that's why it's never done.
Yeah.
Like it only exists.
Well, because
between
you're working with a new person every night. You're working with a new animal every night, and then their variables become part of what you have to deal with. I mean, you have there are
and
comics
also, to simplify it, because I'm going insane, but
I have that effect on people.
but just like no, but also I was in like this 6-hour-long writing group today, and everything's been like analytical, but it's like you're supposed to make them happy, and like that's the
What?
I know, right? Do you remember? Do you? Because I forget.
It's about me.
No, I know, right? Like I've been so crazy in my head. It's like, oh yeah, it's about making them feel good. That's the whole point.
It's true. I used to have a joke,
And that's the
actually,
gift.
I'm thinking about bringing it back because the new hour that I'm working on is much more. I've never really talked about myself on stage or about my motivations or how my brain works really on stage. I'm trying to because I think it's something I need to learn to do. Although
go
it's
to
very dark
therapy.
and fucked. When I can monetize it, are you kidding me? This pain is valuable, man.
there's-
It's aged. This is like bourbon pain. It's been underground for years.
I'm sure there are some Instagram therapists who would love to do a collab.
I get a lot of collab
Sure.
requests from the rope store. Anyway, so
Do you want to be a cowboy?
They just send me. You want to be a
Lassos?
cowboy? Lassos, and I just hang myself with one of their products, and they're like, Jesus Christ, this is not good for the brand. And then I just yell Yellowstone as I'm hanging myself, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of good. No, but I had this bit about like I said to the audience, I go, the funny thing is, you think I'm here to entertain you, but you're here to entertain me. You don't understand that. Is like this doesn't exist one way. I'm not behind glass. Like you're here for me as much as I'm here for you, and as long as it works together, that's fine. But if it
You're
becomes
a Charlie
parasitic-
Kaufman movie.
Yeah, I am a Charlie Kaufman movie.
Non-stop.
No one's ever told me that before, and And then I was watching myself do the podcast, and I thought to myself, maybe I can say something now. You know what? It's time for Mikey. Let's get random Charlie Kaufman.
Make a different noise each time.
You don't know what this is. You don't know what this is.
I know
Okay.
nothing.
I love having people on the podcast who don't know we're doing a podcast, and I think that's great.
I don't know why I'm
Casey
here.
thinks this is just a job interview that's gone really bad.
Yeah.
Why are we being recorded? So what this is I was on the internet one day, stumbling around blindly as I do on the internet, and I found a random topic generator for people who are uncomfortable having conversations. And it was a way for people to, I guess just naturally at some point be like, nice to meet you. And then look on their phone about
These are
things
built
like-
into all the dating apps.
Yeah, are they?
Yeah, when you
there
match
go.
with someone, they're like, "Here's a fucking question, you fucking morons."
Are you serious?
Fucking mates.
So it's almost AI communicating for
Yeah.
us.
Oh yeah. It's like, what's
Why
your
do-
favorite crayon
We
color?
should just stop having people
It's
because
over.
that's the
Oh,
point.
it's happening.
So the robots are telling you who to meet with. So the robots are engineering like he has strong quads. Mate with him. We need people to pull the wagons. Like the robots.
No,
are
I
doing
think
this.
the robots are against us, right? So they're making all the weak people.
Everybody just all at once was like, "You're totally right."
And I should know because I'm a robot. Disassociate.
I knew that milk toast story wasn't real. When you bopped your head back and forth, I was like, "Something's wrong in there."
Candy product.
She's just a milk dud sales bot.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how many times we've said milk duds, but we should be getting
Yeah,
something
we
for this.
should.
Like, we should just get a shipment of milk duds.
Or say it's the drinking game for the show.
Drinking milk duds. Yeah, if you hear the milk
Milk
duds too many times, then drink. And if you've already drunk every time
Don't
you've
do
heard
it.
milk duds, fucking go to a doctor.
Yeah.
All right. So this is random, and we didn't set it up to be anything. It was just random.
Random.
Random. This one's random.
What old trend is coming back these days?
Oh, so many.
That was weirdly quick.
I didn't know if it was
Like
good
that was
or
just like you were waiting. Oh, so many. Too many to bear.
Well, a little. I was just talking about this because the Gen Zs are coming. And they're taking our youth. They're reinterpreting it. Because we're on the cusp of having like the early aughts come back, right? Like the Britney Spears era. And, Low Rise is always
God
already
damn.
back.
Stovepipe pants are coming back, aren't they?
They've taken our shows, the Saved by the Bell reboot.
They've taken our show.
Yeah.
It really does feel
I don't know
like
why you sound like Colin.
when you say, you know what? It does feel like it does feel like the story for Terminator where the robots take over. It's just like
Yeah.
first they came for the end. It's like that does feel.
I heard a better comedian than me talking about it, and they have a very positive perspective on the next generation and how there's like a digital Thanksgiving
So they're,
happening
they're
online.
positive.
Where, like,
are they a comedian? I don't know.
no, and they're
only one
successful.
know.
I know that's why
I only know one.
It doesn't
style.
bode well.
Yeah. No. None of this bodes well.
But I'm afraid of Gen Z. I am only concerned they'll
Isn't that
take
a
away
car
my
by,
life.
Isn't that a car by Datsun though? The Gen Z.
I don't
just
even
got a
get
new
that.
Gen Z. Check it out. It doesn't work very hard. Just kidding. They do. The problem is that they're born into such a difficult time. I think children and people. I think people like I'm an analog, right? I'm one of the last.
Oh, you have a
analogs.
kid, so you care about this.
I
Yeah.
kind of do. And I'll be dead way before. But the thing is, like, so as an analog, I was there for the shift.
As an
analog. I'm just a lonely analog, and I shift. I remember the shift from when things were very much. There was, how do I explain this? Your permanence was not guaranteed. The internet did not exist. There were things that just didn't. You could very easily exist without a trace. Everything was cash. You could look, when I was selling drugs. Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is it's almost like now.
But we also didn't have that point of contrast, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't think people were going like I'm not internet famous all the time,
Yeah.
or like why can't I get famous
true.
right now?
It's true,
There
yeah.
wasn't that point of comparison, so I think people were more grounded.
Yeah, they were, but then
now.
what happened was the shift came mid 20s, and so what happened was in that time, that early to mid 20s is still quite impressionable.
We're not in the mid-20s.
No,
yet.
in my mid 20s.
Oh. Oh, I'm sorry. We're on the universal clock of Simon.
Internet Standard Time, and No, I was talking about my particular journey as a human in the world.
Okay.
Anyway, whatever. But I'm a Gen whatever. I'm not a Gen Xer. I'm the one before millennial. I'm that weird Gen blah.
What?
Yeah, I was 77. I'm old. Gen blah. Go blah, Gen blah. It's Klingon for anyone watching. Anyone who speaks Klingon? Does anybody out there speak Klingon? Nope. Anyway, she should go to Casey's class. She'll teach you. Oh, I don't think that's Klingon, right? You move your head back and forth when you speak Klingon. Look, let's move on.
The trend that's coming back.
And the trend is, well, what I think is the thing is that I had thought about this is like, I think that now the internet and technology and phones and everything are not as effective. They're not as impactful as they used to be because it's just part of life. It's like when I was growing up, like a VCR was a big deal, but now it's like a VCR is like so, like having the idea that you could record TV was a big deal, or pop popcorn in a microwave or whatever. But then it became just so passé for the generation after mine. And then I think now, my generation was blown away by internet and social media and all this stuff, and that fucked up my generation and the generation after mine. But I think the generations coming behind that are just so fucking used to it. It doesn't.
No,
it's not
they're
a thing.
so anxious.
Yeah, but I don't. I think they're just
So
used to
anxious.
having it as a tool. I don't think the idea of the technology scares them. I think what happens. I think there needs to be more
I
responsibility.
think I hate blanket statements on generations.
I mean,
No,
that's
I mean,
pretty broad,
sorry.
Casey. I don't know how you. Casey hates blankets, guys.
I am a broad.
Blankets for the homeless. She hates them.
I do love a comfy though. Do you know what a comfy is?
What's a comfy?
It's a blanket you wear like a mushroom around yourself. It's so
What?
good. It's like
Like
a
a Snuggie?
Snuggie, but it's better.
You can wear a blanket like a.
It's like an UGG boot on the inside of like that fake.
Why have clothes?
Yes.
Just, you know what I mean? Like, at what point are we like? At what point are we
It
just
becomes-
becoming the people from Wall-E?
Creepy sexual though, because it like cuts off right below your thighs.
So it's like. What? So you're all mushroom on the top. There's a guy with a specific fetish who designed this. He's like the money's mushroom dude. Is like, what if I could fuck a mushroom?
I just
Like,
pictured the porn, but
Yeah.
no, it's wonderful.
It's
but,
just a mushroom.
The trend that's shitty music, I think, is the trend that's coming back.
Okay. Yeah.
Someone doesn't like Sugar Ray. Anyway,
I do not.
I just want to fly.
I had the album too.
You did?
Yeah.
What's the first album you remember buying?
TLC. Crazy, sexy, cool.
Oh, fuck yeah. I remember that song. Yeah, I was in my 40s. And I remember that. What's the one on that?
And it was on cassette.
Is Waterfalls on that? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Waterfalls.
Yeah.
No?
It's the one they made so much money and then it all got stolen by their management.
Is that what happened to TLC?
Yeah, they did the Remember VH1 Behind the Music, or did Canada not have
No, we don't have VH1.
the illustrious, look that up, VH1.
Actually, in Canada, it's VH.72 because of exchange. So we don't have, but so that was on VH1 Behind the Music. They fucking got their money stolen?
Yeah.
their
There was
manager?
yeah.
Real
It was
Gary Coleman
It was
style?
well, I mean, I think it was in the contract. It was just a really shitty contract, but yeah, devastating.
And so what happened to TLC? Well, I know Left Eye died.
Yes, I think they got a better contract for the next album. I don't quite
And they became
remember.
TC.
And then Chili dated Usher for a long time.
Oh, okay. There you go. That's something. That's a
a
nice
win.
perk. Yeah. Here's a perk. Well, you don't get any money, but you can fuck this 5'8" guy. Who can dance. Nice. Yeah, all right. Cool. Little tiny Usher. So what kind of music do you like?
Oh, Florence.
That was interesting. I thought you were going to sing for me. I was like, holy shit, this is great. She can't do accents, but she'll belt out a fucking tune.
Is this a barbershop quartet? Like, the country man gives me
We just do one of those. We should just start singing shanties. We'll just go on the road and do. They bring us rum for the boat, for the boat. They bring us rum for the boat, for the boat. And then you're singing Milk Duds.
Yeah.
And then a manager breaks up the group. She's like, look, Milk Duds is way more popular than Brings Us Rum. So you gotta like, fuck.
Florence and the Machine is my
Florence and the
primo.
Machine's- yeah,
Yeah,
Florence and
and
the Machine's
she's coming
great.
up with a new album next month, and it's already painfully perfect. All the singles that have dropped.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you seen her live? I hear she's
Yeah.
not live. That's
Yeah.
me. It's me.
Yeah.
The one in your headphones is me.
Yeah, I can't get it together. Again, my
okay.
auditory processing skills are not there. Yeah, I saw her at Rogers Arena a while ago when
cool.
she was doing her Stevie Nicks thing.
Wow.
And she was just spinning. She was just spinning like a top all night long.
Take it off. Take it off.
Yeah, yeah, the whole thing. It was beautiful.
Do you like classic rock at all? Do you like
Yeah,
classic
yeah.
music?
I love arena rock. I love like.
So okay,
anthematic-
so all right, so like we've covered, which is a good choice for favorite band, fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back. Let's go favorite band pre 1980.
Pre-1980?
Favorite music pre-1980.
Oh.
Do you have any classic music?
Oh, Bruce Springsteen.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done and done.
There you go. Fucking look at that. Quick.
Yeah,
I used to when I was doing acting school, I was real gay.
I love how you're doing. I love how this becomes a thing. Like you're just like weirdly not in the room, but also super in the room. You're like, and when I was doing Good Morning Vietnam,
Well, I'm painting a picture. I was Well, actually, I was disassociating, but I'm going back.
so this is how you just zone out. There are so many matchsticks.
I think that's what. I think that's an autistic thing.
Maybe. There you go.
And I don't doubt that, but about myself. But
Well, you won't make eye contact with Mikey, but neither will I, just for personal reasons.
I mean, I can't. The sound of velvet causes me physical pain. But anyway, continuing. But I would listen to Bruce Springsteen, and then I would lip sync in the mirror before that was like James Corden fucking nightmare show. But I was just Bruce Springsteen and me in the fucking mirror, baby.
What was your go-to song?
Thunder Road.
Ooh, that's an interesting choice.
That was pretty popular.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was everything he did was popular, though, pretty much. I mean, I know there were some duds.
I'm pretty basic.
Yeah, well, it was like.
I hate myself for it because I mean, people who roll deep, right? They listen to the Sirius XM Bruce
that
station
channel.
that just like plays everything.
I've never been a Bruce Springsteen guy. I was a bit Peter Frampton-y.
He's very American, I find.
I don't mind that though.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever said in my
Yeah, it's
life.
pretty
Bruce
American.
Springsteen is very American.
That sounded like a pretty
Wouldn't that
big
be funny
blanket
if it was like-
statement.
USA?
Wouldn't that be funny if they're like, and we have in the studio with us Bruce Springsteen. So this is your first interview. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Well, I mean, I really like singing. I do singing about Born to Run and stuff like that. And I think it's great, because Philadelphia, or wherever I'm from, Pennsylvania, I don't know. Anyway, he just has no idea. Jersey, I'm from Jersey, fuck it. And he just it's kind of
That'd be great on his deathbed. If
no
that's what
idea.
happened.
Just Bruce Springsteen comes out as Irish or like South African or some shit. And you're like, why is he fucking Bruce Springsteen's Welsh? Like Australian, fucking Born to Run.
This is just an
Shove it in
accent.
your pouch.
But your music, you Meatloaf, you?
Wow.
What was that based on, Casey?
I thought there was an Uber Eats order. That was fucking weird. Meatloaf you? Like, it was also like, so that's you on a dating app. Meatloaf you? The question says Meatloaf you.
I think I just heard one of his songs, and then for some
And you
reason
thought,
the vibe.
like this, fathead.
No. Honestly, let me strip away all the insulting bits.
His name was blank blank. I can't remember his name.
I forget his name too. Names disappear after
Yeah,
you
his
die.
It was
just
me
go
the
away.
loaf. It was me at loaf. Actually, no one really.
No, but just that kind of like painful male longing. I was associating with you.
That's a great synopsis of Meatloaf.
What makes you think? What makes you think that I identify with males in any way? I'm a real spin doctor's guy. No, I'm a Zeppelin, and like I like a lot of old blues, like Robert Johnson and Junior Kimbrough and things like that.
I don't know those names. Then that really proves you
Yeah.
love blues and jazz.
Johnson Fiddlesticks. And Adobeus Crunge, Adobeus Crunge. Have you not seen Adobe? That's a great name, Adobeus Crunge. Adobeus
one.
Crunge.
Yeah.
No, I like a lot of different kind of music. I liked earlier hip hop too. I kind of lost track of it later.
When it was
on.
easy.
Yeah. E.
Went to the store. I was a bore.
Slick Rick, the explaining what happened today. I got up, I folded my laundry. You can just put you can be behind anything, right? And but then I kind of lost track of hip hop. I'm just not really good with. I don't know. I kind of get in kind of connect to certain bits of music for a while, and then I
Sure.
disconnect.
I think that'd be all.
like I kind of.
I think that's what a human is.
Is it? Says the lady who's just researching how to talk to humans. That's what a human is. Meatloaf, yes. No eye contact. Just looks down. Meatloaf, yes.
I give myself an 8.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I do still feel like I'm being socialized, though.
No, you are.
in the world.
You're socially, you're doing well. This is
you.
good. Good for you.
Thanks.
I wish you knew more accents. I'm a little bit disappointed. But the point is, No, this is like, do you find yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
Introverted.
You're an introverted person?
Yeah.
A lot of comedians are.
Yes, and it makes so much sense to me.
I'm very introverted. I don't like being, weirdly enough, I am. I'm very shy. I'm very, very shy.
Super shy, awkward,
Yeah.
my end. You're never awkward. And then,
I'm always awkward.
but yeah, it's a one-way conversation, right? Like, you're in control of the situation.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, how could you be a comedian when
Yeah.
you're an introvert?
Because it's the only time that it makes sense.
Yeah.
For me, there's just
It's
chaos.
you're
and
in
then,
control.
And then moments of like absolute, like I just did a show on Thursday and my mind was 1,000 miles away before I went on stage. And as soon as I got on stage, it was like Zen lock. I was like, okay, nothing else is happening other than what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And I can focus on this and then all of the noises, everything else goes away. I'm actually genuinely happy because I'm not unhappy.
I think
I'm
that's
like,
ADHD, though. I don't think that's introversion yet.
Oh, I got a lot of fucking problems. You should watch some of the
No,
old
me too.
podcasts. We'll talk about my text messages, how I erase everything off my phone because I'm paranoid that I'll have a bad show if I don't lace my shoes the right way. Hey, someone's crazy.
Oh, I get that, though. I have certain shoes for, if I
magical
want to set
thinking?
to go. Yeah, for sure.
What's your stupidest magical thinking thing you do?
Well, I'm thinking about comedy. I mean, part of it is like I need to have a bad set before like a show I care about.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's important. Yeah. Bad rehearsal, great opening night.
Yeah.
That comes from theater though. That's old school.
I'm trying to think of what else. I'm very superstitious and all that. But also, who doesn't have ADHD? Sorry, I just had an ADHD.
That was the weirdest thing. You were just like, by the way, you were like doing like a tutorial video. I'm gonna show you what ADHD is at home. See if you can pick it out. And then it's like, pause the video. This is what happened right here. K.C. was talking about a topic, and then her mind wandered.
These lights got me all hot. But I did the serving it right qualification last night.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Yeah, and I watched all those. It's still you right there.
You watched all the videos?
Yeah, and there were all those training videos of like, hi, would you like more beer? Yeah.
That would be a great thing. You should come back and we'll just review those because I had to do it too. And the whole
Yeah.
time I was finding it super funny.
Yeah,
I've
I was all alone. It
It's
was like,
so fucking
yeah.
funny. It's like, would you serve these people drinks? And it's like a baby with a soother. It's like, someone might be
Yeah.
underage.
Yeah.
Does this ID look real to you?
Yeah.
Like, my name is Frank. I'm 41.
There was a girl with her keys going like, I'm gonna drive
Yeah.
home. And then it freezes and you're like, what would you do?
My dream is to get booked in one of those.
Yeah, me
So
too.
that I'm just
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
And then forever people will be
Forever.
like, especially if you ever did get famous, can you imagine you just watching one of those, but it's like Brad Pitt now. You know, like
Yeah.
like
Oh,
that
for
happened
sure.
with Will Ferrell. They Will Ferrell and I can't remember who did it. They did like a Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
But they
And
just
Kristen
did it.
Wiig.
Yeah, Kristen Wiig. They
Oh,
just
no, that was
No.
after they were famous.
But they,
you
yeah,
mean
after
prior to their...
no, this is after. They just decided they wanted to do a Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
And they were like, what? And they're like, yeah, no, serious. Like, we're not going to make it funny. And they're like, what? And like, yeah, we just
that
want to
is
be in your
funny,
movie.
yeah.
It's like,
hilarious.
okay. It's like, because I know he did Mi Casa de Padre or whatever, which was like the joke one.
Yeah, in all Spanish.
Yeah, but the actual idea, I love the idea of doing stupid shit like that.
Yeah, of course.
Like, fame would be so wasted on me, but also would be so fun because I would do such dumb shit with it.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
As
like,
everyone should.
yeah, that level of, because fame is just stupid. Like it's
It's
just a
not
stupid.
real.
No, it's not real.
Because it doesn't travel with you. Like, if you go somewhere where people don't know you, it's
Yeah.
not like...
Yeah.
It doesn't latch on. I think about it a lot because it's such a bizarre thing we do to
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
For
weird.
dumb shit. For dumb shit.
Humans are fucking dumb. We getting close. I don't want to wrap it up, but we're getting close to wrapping up. But is there anything you've seen? Or anything that you say that
Am I gonna
defines the human
die?
experience. Yeah, that's the time. It's counting down, which is weird. It's just like just counting down, and the vents close, and you're like, "What's going on?" It's like,
It says to
Going
me,
up, yeah, it's going up. I think you're having a stroke.
because I remember you had discussed. I know you guys both checked. You fucking idiots! How goddamn! I should run a cult. I really should. Drink this.
Okay.
Because you had mentioned this to me before about there was a thing with monkeys with a fur coat, and I wanted to talk about
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
you got to tell people that because this was disturbing, and I thought
Yeah.
about it for like 20 minutes after we stopped talking.
Oh,
I
that's a
really
long
thought
time.
about it. I was like, what the fuck
yeah.
does that mean?
Yeah. Well, I think it's the core of life is what the
You
study
have to
was.
explain to people what it is.
And I meant to look it up and be prepared before now, but the details of it I'm probably gonna get wrong. But what it was a study they did with, little monkeys, how we hijack them from the jungle and we make them do our experiments.
Yeah. Science monkeys.
But they had 2 robot mothers. I'm like, I'm a robot, so this is all right. difficult for me to talk about. There was one robot that would dispense food when you pressed a button. And then the other robot mother had a fake fur on her, so she felt like a monkey mother, but she did not dispense any food. So the monkeys, when like they could only choose one side of the cage, they would always choose the one with the fake fur that would not feed them and would stay there and sacrifice their own primal needs just to feel like loved.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm broken, and that's why you're broken.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone's broken.
Anyway, guys, this podcast is brought to you by Tinder.
Make a mother tonight.
But that is so incredibly insightful into basically all of human experience.
It's attachment. That's
It
how
really
we're all
is.
designed, and that's why
We just want to belong. And in some capacity, we want connection. And if we don't have it, we'll take a robot with a rug on it. I don't give a fuck.
that's the title of the episode.
I'll hug a Roomba with a sheepskin glued to it. I don't give a shit. But it is really one of those things where it's like, because I thought about it, because I was like, well, there's something in there that's like, and there's something that's fundamentally upsetting, but also weirdly relevant about that.
I think it's upsetting because
weirdly-
I think we all experience that to some degree because no parent is perfect.
Yeah.
So it's this idea of like we're all looking for the little fake
Yeah.
IKEA rug of comfort.
But I think it goes outside even parents. I think there's that need in general
I
belonging
don't.
and stuff. But there's like general belief of belonging. I mean, I know that we're pack animals and we need to belong to a thing, but there's that general feeling of like, speaking of belonging, patreon.com/this is... Sorry, I had
got
to
a
make
piece
it.
of felt
I had
in
to
the
make
mail.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you will get. I will put on a fucking monkey costume and I'll give you a biscuit. I don't give a shit. Like, I'll hug you and give you food. All right, monkeys. So
I just realized my robot parent would make me do accents in order to get food.
that's the voice, or it gets
Yeah.
no food.
Yeah,
Robot parent.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I really
That was
enjoyed
awesome.
this.
Really?
Will
That
you
was
come
great.
back?
Thank you
You're
so much.
welcome.
You did. It was funny. It was super great.
Great.
Yeah. Thank you, Mikey Greenwood.
Yay!
Where can people find you? Where can they look
Oh,
up your
yeah.
awesome comedy? What tell us about the K.C Novak world.
Oh my god. Mainly, I just joined Instagram in the summer, so please, my numbers are so sad.
You're getting on that quick, right? Getting on that trend before it gets big.
I start everything late, and
It's called Insta. It's in the name. Anyway, not later, Graham.
it's at k.c.novak, Novak, because I don't know.
I like the way you said it like you were apologetic. It's your name. You're allowed to be assertive about it.
I know.
K.C.Novak.
It's just everyone's like, it's this. No one, my name breaks people anyway. So that's there, and then yeah, they're all well. It's a who's
People
on
from Kansas City really confuses them.
any like Starbucks situation. They're like, what's your name, Casey? And they're like, C-A-S-E-Y. I'm like, no, Casey. And they're like, C-A-S-E-Y. I'm like, I'm gonna punch you, and then me, because it doesn't matter. I don't care. But anyway, k.c.novak, and then I'm gonna be in Edmonton May 5th through the. Does anyone here go to Alberta?
I don't know where. Most people are in prison that watch this.
Yeah,
And,
or
We
Ireland.
figured that out. And I'm not sure when this will air, but if you're in Edmonton, May, say you're in Edmonton.
Okay,
Maine.
I'm producing my first comedy show ever. So
Yay!
May 12th, it's gonna be called "Is It Comedy or Is It Cake?"
I like it already.
So please come to that.
Where
Tell
is
your
that?
friends. The Grindstone Comedy Theater.
I love the Grindstone.
It's very good.
Great spot. Great spot.
May 12th, get your tickets. And yeah, that's where I exist online and in the world right now.
Do you
Don't
have
give
a-
me COVID, Alberta. Please don't do it.
They've run through on such a variant right now. I think their variant has a chrome pack and like a lifted right now. They're in the Ford F-150 variant. It's totally
Okay,
fucking different.
great.
Well, thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you for
I
having
really
me.
appreciate you, and we'd love to have you back. And Mikey Greenwood, you can never come back.
Okay,
you're
thanks.
done.
I can't leave. What are you talking about?
You can't leave. You are chained to that. The weird thing is he tried to bite through the rope the other day, and I caught him. You know what I mean? Like, we can't let him get away. And you can find me at thisisSimonKing.com, at Unfamous on Twitter, at WWWSK Podcast for the podcast on Twitter. And we have an Instagram and a TikTok for the podcast, don't we? Right, Mikey?
Yes.
What are they?
WWW Simon King Podcast. That's it.
On what?
At Instagram and
Oh,
TikTok.
and Instagram.
Both, yeah.
Oh, both on both?
Both,
Oh,
yeah.
wow, look at that.
TikTok
Fucking
will be changing,
fastidious.
but yeah.
Okay, and youtube.com/The Citizen Strange. If you are not watching this, you're listening to it, and you can check out my special, As Good As or Better Than, on there, and sign up for the Patreon, and you will get a bonus episode, and that is, sadly, that's what's wrong this week.
There's a bird by your head.